Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS. It's time for Owin's Field Report, sponsored by Les Schwab Tire Centers.
Now, before we get to our typical information that we have for you during this particular segment, our field report segment, I got to share the report from, you know what, before I even get there, how about this? Before David Johnson got in here this morning, I had delusions, apparently, of heading towards the coast and hitting one of my favorite rivers for December Chinook. Some would call them falls, some would call them winters, whatever it is, what it is, you can call them what you want. Turns out that that's not correct. They changed it this year. After the 1st of December, it was closed. North Coast, Tillamook area, make sure you pay attention. If you're going to be heading over there to any of the tributaries, just make sure that they are open. A particular river that I love to spend my time on this time of year, which is one of the only ones that gets me out of the duck blind, I can't even go to. I was very disappointed by that. I was actually trying to twist his arm into bringing me some of his fancy high-end, you're going to catch some fish, no question, David Johnson eggs, and it wouldn't have made any difference. Kind of upset by that. All right, so my report for yesterday, as I mentioned before we wrapped the show up, I ran out. I was going to jump in the blind with my buddy, Mr. Fish, and chase some, hopefully get some mallards, right? It's been kind of tough the last couple of weeks when you're talking about chasing birds around. Well, when I got out there, it was one of those days. Beautiful conditions, when you're talking about being ducky, right? Windy, a little bit cold, definitely rain, which we like. Some folks don't like that when they're duck hunting, but I love it. But in the end, when the birds don't have any interest of what you're doing or where you are, it just doesn't turn out to be, a great hunt. Now, there was some birds around. By the time that I left, and I'll get to the reason why I left a little bit early, we had a chance at a couple of birds, and I absolutely made one of the worst whiffs I've made yet this year on a mallard. I think I was so cold and excited that it was actually a mallard that I had an opportunity at that I just absolutely blew it. It was kind of embarrassing, but when the other three guys in the blind did the same thing, I didn't feel quite nearly as bad. Now, I mentioned being cold. Now, yesterday I made the mistake. I got out of the truck. I was excited, of course. I wanted to get to the blind. I threw my Sitka jacket on. I didn't have anything else on underneath it other than my sweatshirt. And I forgot to put on another layer because if you're not familiar with Oregon, it rains a lot. And if you don't have something in between your very base layer and your jacket, well, even though your jacket's not leaking, it's still wet. You get the cold on there from the wind, and it gets right through there. I got cold just like that. It was my own mistake. I mean, it's just an absolute rookie maneuver on what I had done. Now, what makes it even worse is that in my truck, my Chevy Silverado, we're going to have that tech tip here in just a little bit, was a brand new, and this is what I'm trying to tell you, is going to be a gift idea that you're going to love, I promise you. Brand new heated vest, okay? Cheap. This particular one, which I won't mention the name, starts with a T, ends with an E. Inexpensive, right? I just happened to find it online. My daughter has inherited my last one, so I needed to get myself a new one. Inexpensive, I think this one was like $79, very, very inexpensive. Heated vest, works phenomenal. I didn't have it yesterday. I would have given anything to have been within about maybe a 20-minute earlier or faster walk to get to my truck and back. I probably would have gone and grabbed the thing. But it's just a great gift idea. There's dozens of different versions of heated vests that are out there, heated jackets. They got little liners that are also available. And all of them seem to be under $100. And they come, most of them, not all, make sure you pay attention, they come with the battery that you would need to power it. So just keep that in mind. This is one that literally, it does not matter if they're into fishing or hunting or whatever. If somebody in your life is outside in the cold, this is one of the greatest gifts that you can give them. Trust me on that. As long as they take care of the battery and keep it charged, it will keep you warm. And I just absolutely love it. This morning on the way in, I was wearing it in the truck with the window down because I wanted to see how warm it actually kept you on the low setting. And it kept me warm all the way here. So I was pretty impressed by that. So there's another great one for you, a heated vest. Inexpensive. And I'm telling you right now, I could have used it yesterday. Hugely, hugely would have appreciated having that yesterday. Clackamas River, my home river. Yep, it's on the way out again. It's not, it's possible that it comes up a little bit short of the 17, which is going to be that minor level when you're, the action level on the Clackamas. I don't think it's going to get that high, but either way, by the end of the week, if you start getting motivated and you want to get out and try to make something happen early, I'm still calling it early for winter steelhead, especially on this river, to get into them the middle of December. But after these kind of high water events, there could definitely be a fish or two running around. So it's a good excuse to get out and try it and give it a go. Wilson, along the coast, perfect barometer for all those North Coast rivers. It is already in the action stage. This is since yesterday. This is less than 24 hours. It's bounced, well, 1, 2, 3, almost 4 feet. It's going to continue to go up and then turn right over and start to drop out. So you're going to notice that all the rivers are going to be like this. When we talk to Katie in just a minute, you'll see why. It's going to change very quickly. Silet's a little bit further south, has already peaked out. Looks like it's going to turn over now, keeping on and getting to the Alsea. A little bit of a bounce here. Kind of interesting. Alsea close too? No, I don't believe so. He doesn't believe so. All these things, you got to pay attention. Yeah, exactly. Pay attention. You got to look up the regs to make sure what is and isn't open right now. And then Nehalem near Foss, same thing. It's about ready to turn over, and things are going to start coming back into shape. So really, most of us, if you're going to be spending any time up and down the coast, everybody's minds are switching now, thinking about winter steelhead, and for good reason. Later on, we're going to have Mr. David Johnson here. We're going to talk winter steelhead fishing, some things that might help you be more successful when you get out there. And here's one that will. Send an email to Jason over at Procure. You'll have a chance to win a weekly prize pack. This one, again, is all about winter steelhead or steelhead overall. You got the perfect sense and the pieces of the puzzle to be successful. Let's go ahead, though, and find out what this weather is going to do. Katie, you're always right on it, right? Yesterday it rained like crazy. This morning it's been raining like crazy, and it looks like things are coming to fruition, but things are changing.
They are changing, and as we talked about yesterday, you'll notice there's quite a bit of brown rock showing out, bushes, trees. Of the snow that we had has just been compacted and melted by the rain that we had coming through. We knew that was going to happen, and there is no snow currently in the extended forecast, meaning we aren't planning on being able to add anything to that. Once the rain stops, it will be all that we have. Here are your totals for the month of December, starting on the Friday the 1st there, all the way through till today. And keep in mind that 7/10 of an inch of rain there, that's since 12 a.m. That's just this morning. So yesterday we had that near 4/10 of an inch. Today we've had a 3/4 of an inch. That's taken us to 6.75, which is almost an inch more than we get for the month. Here's that atmospheric river we're watching, and it is already starting to be cut off from us by this ridge that's building in. That will basically take away the flow of that, and we get into some high pressure, which keeps us on the more dry side for the rest of the extended forecast. The showers are going to continue to move south with that atmospheric river as it gets cut off. The last time we see anything really here is right around 11 o'clock tonight. There are some showers and a little snow off to the northeast, but for the most part, we all stay on that drier side, and with just a few clouds. The cool east wind does come up for us. Here's the 3-day forecast looking at the next couple of days, and here's the 7-day. When you look at it extended, you'll notice warm both day and night and dry. Maybe some showers we're tracking Wednesday night into Thursday, but that's all we're seeing right now.
Now, Katie, I have a question for you, so
okay.
Can we bring her back up?
Yep.
This is all part of the El Nino pattern that we have this winter. Is that correct?
Yes, and I'm not given enough time to show you guys, but there is an upper level pattern where you see the trough dropping down and then it splits off and drops. That is classic El Nino when you split the system. And so we have one jet stream that's going over us in Canada and then another one that's going underneath us into California. We're right in the middle of it. That's classic El Nino.
Okay, that was my question. A lot of the years we associate that with poor fishing, and then sometimes conditions that aren't conducive to great waterfowl hunting, and I think we're kind of running across that now.
That's what it seems like.
Thank you very much, Katie. Enjoy your week. All right, everyone, we're going to cut to a break. When we come back, we're going to have Mr. David Johnson here on the set. We're going to talk about winter steelhead, how he likes to go after him, get some info that might help you as well be more successful, and maybe, if we get lucky, maybe give a tidbit out there on, maybe a little secret that he likes to do with his eggs. You never know. You'll only see it here on KPTX. We'll be right back.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by P-Line, because we fish, by Hawken Fishing, perfection in fishing gear, and by Haxton's Canvas and Upholstery, the trusted name of the Pacific Northwest.